The night shift inside Earth Command Center was usually quiet. Officers typed slowly, screens blinked softly, and a calm hum filled the room. But tonight, something strange happened. A silent alert flashed across every main screen, an alert no one had ever seen before. Lieutenant Mara, a young officer with sharp eyes, leaned forward. "Sir, this is not a human signal." Commander Hale, standing behind her, narrowed his eyes. He was a tall, serious man with a voice that could silence a room. He stepped closer to the screen. The signal repeated again. A black symbol, a white crown, and a single line of alien text. Before anyone could react, the screen suddenly turned bright and an alien figure appeared. Its skin was gray-blue, its armor heavy and polished, and its voice sounded cold and proud. "Humans," it said, "this is the Emperor of the Zarkan Empire. Your world has been marked for cleansing. Surrender or you'll be removed." The entire command center froze. Everyone stared. No one spoke. It felt like the room had turned to ice. Lieutenant Mara's voice shook. "Sir, is this real?" Commander Hale did not move. He watched the alien face on the screen. The Emperor's eyes were full of confidence, almost arrogance. "I repeat," the Emperor continued, "surrender your planets, your ships, your weapons, or face extinction." The signal ended. Silence fell inside the center, deep and heavy. A junior officer whispered, "Is this some kind of joke?" Another muttered, "Maybe a hack transmission?" But Hale shook his head slowly. "No," he said, "this was real." His tone was calm, but his eyes were sharp. He turned to his officers. "Track the signal origin. Now!" The officers ran to their stations. Keys clacked. Screens flickered. After a few seconds, Mara swallowed hard. "Commander, the signal came from the outer edge of our solar system." Hale's jaw tightened. Too close. Far too close. Hours later, a secret meeting gathered in the war strategy room. Every important human leader appeared. Military, science, government, and defense. Hale stood at the front, arms folded. Some laughed at the warning. "Aliens? Please," one politician said. "This must be a trick." "We should ignore it," another added. But Hale's voice cut through the room. "We cannot ignore it. Something is coming." General Brooks looked at him. "What makes you so sure?" Hale tapped the screen. Satellite images appeared. Strange energy marks near Jupiter's orbit. Then another image. A human mining station floating silently. Its lights off, no life signs, its metal hull damaged by unknown weapons. Brooks inhaled sharply. "When did this happen?" 2 hours after the signal. Hale replied. The room went silent. This was no joke. A scientist stood up, shaking. "The damage is not from any human weapon. It's something stronger." Hale looked around the room. "Humanity is being tested, and we are failing the test." The next morning, panic spread across the Solar System Alliance news. Whispers of alien threat reached every city, every home, every colony. Some people were afraid. Some did not believe it. Some thought humanity would survive easily. But Hale knew better. He had studied alien signals for years. He had warned them before. No one listened. Now the enemy was at the door. Later that day, Hale stood in a large hangar, dark, cold, and silent. It was a restricted zone. Only a few humans even knew it existed. Inside the hangar stood something massive. A warship, but not a normal warship. A black, silent, deadly shape rested under dim lights. Smooth armor, hidden weapons, engines built with technology the public didn't know existed. The plate on the side read, USS Blackstar. Hale walked toward it slowly, his footsteps echoing across the floor. The Blackstar was humanity's last secret. A ship built not for threats, but for extinction-level enemies. A ship created for war humanity hoped would never come. Hale placed a hand on its cold metal surface. "We're going to need you," he whispered. Behind him, Captain Rhea, his second-in-command, approached. "You think the Empire will attack?" she asked. "They already did," Hale replied. "They took our mining station. They are testing our defenses. Next, they will test our courage." Rhea looked up at the massive ship. Then why not reveal the Blackstar to the public? Fear, Hale said softly. The leaders don't want panic. Rhea sighed. And you? Hale's stern expression softened. I want humanity to survive. He turned to her. Prepare the crew. We launch soon. Rhea nodded and hurried off. Hale stayed a moment longer beneath the giant warship. They mock us, he whispered. They think humans are weak. His voice grew colder. They have no idea what we could become when we are pushed. That evening, strange reports arrived from the outer border of the solar system. 3 cargo ships had vanished. A patrol drone was found destroyed. A human scout ship sent a final message. Unknown ships approaching, many, too many. The transmission ended in static. Humanity had no more time. Inside her command center, alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Officers ran across the room. Mara turned to Hale with fear in her eyes. Commander, the Empire is here. Hale stepped forward, calm but fierce. Open the hangars, he ordered. Wake the Blackstar. Every officer looked at him. Humanity had ignored the warning. Now it had to face the truth. The Empire was coming, and the Blackstar was humanity's only chance. Hale spoke the words that would start a legend. If they want a war... The hangar doors opened slowly, releasing a deep metallic echo across the underground facility. Engineers, officers, and security teams lined up on both sides as emergency lights flashed red. Everyone knew something historic was about to begin. Commander Hale walked in with calm steps, his face serious, his eyes sharp. Captain Rhea and the senior crew followed behind him. They all stopped in front of the giant ship that slept inside the dark chamber. The USS Blackstar. It looked alive, like a silent beast waiting to be unleashed. Its black armor absorbed all light, making it appear like a moving shadow. The ship was longer than any human warship ever built. Its engines were hidden behind layer plates. No one could see its true weapons. That secrecy was intentional. Rhea looked up at the ship. It doesn't feel like a machine, she murmured. It feels angry. Hale nodded. It was built for this day. For years, the Blackstar had been a secret project, known only to a few. It combined human engineering with fragments of ancient alien technology discovered on a forgotten moon. Humanity had never understood the full power behind those ruins, but they used everything they could. A soft voice echoed across the hangar. Commander Hale, the ship is ready for crew boarding. It came from Admiral Rowan, the project's creator. He was old, tired, and his face showed years of stress. Hale approached him. You always said this ship was our last hope. Rowan nodded slowly. And now the moment has come. Just remember, Commander, the Blackstar is powerful, but she is not invincible. Treat her with respect. Hale gave a small nod. We'll bring her home. Minutes later, the crew lined up at the boarding platform. Soldiers, pilots, engineers, medics, every member selected personally by Hale and Rhea. Each one was loyal, disciplined, and brave. Rhea raised her voice. Listen up. The enemy is already inside our system. They destroyed our scouts. This is not training. This is not a drill. This is war. Silence fell. She continued, Our mission is simple. Stop the Empire's first strike and protect Earth. If we fail, humanity may never recover. The crew nodded. No one spoke. They simply boarded the Blackstar with silent determination. Inside, the ship's interior was clean and smooth, filled with soft blue lights. The corridors curved like a living creature's veins, glowing as the crew passed by. The main command deck looked different from normal ships, half human design, half unknown technology. When Hale stepped inside, the room lights activated automatically. A calm female voice spoke. Welcome, Commander Hale. USS Blackstar is online. It was a ship's AI, aistory. Her voice was gentle, but layered with power. Hale stood in front of the command chair. aistory, status report. All systems functional. Energy core stable. Weapon arrays charged. Stealth field ready. Rhea took her position. Engines. Silent mode active. aistory replied. Blackstar is prepared for launch. Hale looked at Rhea. Begin the sequence. The launch room fell silent. A deep vibration ran through the ship as power surged through its core. Lights dimmed. Metal walls trembled. Then aistory spoke. USS Blackstar awakening. A shockwave of energy pulsed through the hangar, sending a gust of wind across the base. Engineers covered their faces. Officers stepped back. The ship's armor shifted, plates sliding into position. Engines roared like thunder. Blue light burst from the rear thrusters. The Blackstar was alive. Rhea smiled, unable to hide her excitement. She's beautiful. Hale simply whispered, she's dangerous. Far above Earth, in the darkness of space, an enemy fleet appeared. Cruisers shaped like sharp blades, heavy warships glowing red, and scout ships scanning for weakness. The Alienempire was here. Inside one alien cruiser, the commander laughed. Humans still hide behind their small metal toys. This will be easy. Another officer smirked. Shall we destroy their moon first? It will make them panic. The commander nodded. Begin the cleansing. But before they moved, a faint energy blip appeared on their scanners. What is that? A small signature? No, wait, large, very large. Identify it. The blip moved too fast, too silent, too precise. Then it vanished. The alien commander frowned. Humans do not have this kind of ship. Back on Earth, Hale sat down in the command chair. Crew status. All stations ready. Weapons. Charged. Stealth field. Active. Rhea looked at him. Commander, are we really going alone? Hale nodded. Earth's fleet needs time to mobilize. If we don't intercept the enemy now, millions could die. Rhea took a deep breath. Then let's go. Hale raised his hand. Blackstar launch. The engines roared. The ship lifted from platform. Shockwaves blew dust and debris across the hangar. With a burst of blue light, the USS Blackstar shot forward and disappeared into sky. As it entered space, aistory spoke again. We are approaching enemy fleet coordinates. The crew stared at their screens as hundreds of alien ships appeared in the distance. Rhea whispered, that is a lot of ships. Hale's expression did not change. Prepare weapons, but keep stealth active. Rhea looked shocked. You want to attack without them seeing us? Hale nodded. They mocked humanity. His voice grew colder. Now we show them what fear feels like. Inside the alien flagship, alarms blared. Unknown object detected. It just appeared out of nowhere. It's moving toward us fast. The commander stood up. Visual, now. The screen flickered. A dark shape glided through space. Silent, deadly, unmarked. One alien officer whispered, it's not a ship, it's a shadow. And then, the Blackstar fired its first shot. A single beam of blue light cut through an entire cruiser's hull. The ship exploded instantly. Silence fell across the alien bridge. What was that? No human ship can do this. This is impossible. The commander's voice cracked. Retreat, retreat. But it was too late. The Blackstar moved again, and the real battle had just begun. Space burned bright with the explosion of the first alien cruiser. The shockwave spread across the enemy formation, and every ship in the Zarkan fleet froze for a moment, confused and terrified. Inside the USS Blackstar, the command deck glowed with calm blue lights. Commander Hale did not smile. He did not celebrate. He only watched the battlefield with cold focus. Rhea whispered, Commander, they didn't even see us coming. Hale nodded. That is the point. Keep stealth active. Prepare for the next strike. Aistory, the ship's AI, spoke in her steady voice. Enemy fleet is scanning aggressively. They have not located us yet. On the alien flagship, chaos spread like fire. What happened to Cruiser 3? It is gone, Commander. Completely gone. Was it a meteor? No, sir, the energy signature is artificial. A human weapon? Impossible. The Zarkan commander slammed his fist on the console. Impossible or not, find that ship. But they couldn't. The Blackstar was invisible. Back on the Blackstar, Hale sat in the captain's chair, eyes locked on tactical screens. His crew worked quietly but quickly. "Commander," Rhea said, "enemy ships are spreading out. They're scared." "Good," Hale replied. "It means we control this fight." The Blackstar glided through space like a shadow. No sound, no bright trail, just silence. Astra displayed the next wave of targets. 5 destroyers, light armor, recommended strike, multi-beam burst. "Do it," Hale said. The ship's engines hummed. The energy core glowed blue. Plates on the Blackstar shifted slightly as hidden weapon ports opened. Then, phoom, 5 beams shot out at once, thin, clean lines of blue light. The beams sliced through the destroyers like knives through paper. On the alien ships, alarm screamed. "Sir, more hits. Our destroyers foregone." 5. No, all 5 destroyed. The Zarkin commander stared, unable to breathe. How can humans do this? His second-in-command trembled. This is not human design. This is something else. Inside the Blackstar, Rhea's eyes widened. That was too easy. Hale did not look impressed. This is only the first wave. They will adapt. Rhea frowned. "You really think so?" Hale nodded. "The Empire is arrogant, not foolish." Just then, aistory announced, "Enemy capital ships are moving. They are forming a defense wall." Hale expected it. "They will try to trap us," he said. "But we are faster." He stood up. "Prepare the slipdrift engines." The crew stared at him. "Sir, slipdrift? Inside a battle? That's too risky. We could tear the ship apart." Hale's voice was calm. "Risk is the difference between survival and extinction." The room fell silent. Rhea whispered, "Activate the engines." Outside, the Blackstar's hull glowed faintly. Small ripples of light shimmered across the armor. The ship bent space around itself, preparing for a micro-warp jump on the enemy flagship. "Sir, energy spike detected." "What kind of spike?" "I don't know. Something bending space." Then the Blackstar vanished. Completely. The Zarkin commander shouted, "Where did it go?" But before anyone could answer, the Blackstar reappeared behind the enemy formation, right behind the capital ships. The aliens panicked. "It's behind us." It moved. It moved without light speed. "That's impossible." And then the Blackstar fired again. This time it wasn't beams. It was something worse. A gravitational pulse. A silent blast. The pulse hit the rear of the alien formation, crushing armor and breaking apart hulls. Several capital ships cracked in half. Others lost power and drifted helplessly. Rhea stared at the destruction. "I didn't know the ship could do that." Hale replied quietly, "It's one of the hidden systems. Only top command knew." Rhea swallowed hard. "And you're using it already?" "Humanity does not have time to hold back," he answered. Inside the alien flagship, pure fear filled the room. One officer whispered the words none of them ever expected to say. "Commander, humans were supposed to be weak." The commander looked at him, breathing heavily. "What we face today is not weakness." Another officer trembled as he read the scans. "That ship, it has no energy signature, no registration. It moves like a ghost." The commander clenched his jaw. "That is their monster." Inside the Blackstar, alarms flashed. "Commander," aistory said, "enemy reinforcements are arriving. Over 80 ships." Rhea bit her lip. "They're bringing everything." Hale nodded. As expected. Rhea glanced at him. "Commander, are we winning this battle?" Hale looked at the screens, at the destroyed ships, at the enemy fear, at the chaos spreading across the enemy fleet. "No," he said softly. The crew looked at him in confusion. "We are not winning." He pointed to the approaching reinforcements. "Not yet." Rhea frowned. "Then what are we doing?" Hale's voice was steady, cold, powerful. "We are teaching the Empire their first lesson." Rhea held her breath. "Lesson?" Hale nodded. "That humanity does not kneel." The Blackstar dove forward, engines roaring, weapons glowing, and the battlefield lit up once again. For the first time in history, The Empire felt fear. The battlefield burned with the wrecks of alien cruisers. Bright metal fragments drifted slowly through space, glowing from heat. The USS Blackstar cut across the darkness like a silent shadow, its engines humming softly, almost peacefully. But everyone on the ship knew the peace would not last. Astra's voice echoed calmly through the command deck. Commander Hale. New energy signatures detected. Direction, outer system. Count, 79, increasing now 83 ships. Rhea turned sharply. 83? That's a full battle group. Hale nodded without surprise. The Empire's angry. On the alien flagship, furious voices filled the command bridge. Summon reinforcements. Deploy heavy carriers. Activate planetary siege units. The Zarkan Emperor himself was now watching the battle through a hologram screen, his face twisted with rage. Crush that human ship, he ordered. I want their world broken. The alien commander bowed. At once, my Emperor. Back on the Blackstar, the lights dimmed as the crew prepared for incoming hostiles. Every officer moved with calm discipline, but stress hid behind their eyes. Rhea stepped closer to Hale. What's the plan? We can't take 80 ships head-on. Hale folded his arms. We won't. We fight on our terms. Astra displayed a star map hologram above command deck. A glowing cloud appeared. The nebula rift, aistory said, a region of heavy gas and magnetic storms. Scanners cannot work inside it. Rhea understood instantly. You want to hide the Blackstar inside the nebula? Hale nodded. And strike from the shadows. Rhea exhaled. It's risky, but it's our best chance. The Blackstar altered course, slipping away from the main battle. Behind them, the exploding remains of alien ships faded like dying stars. Ahead of them waited the nebula rift, a swirling blue cloud that looked alive. The moment the Blackstar entered the nebula, the screens flickered. Static crackled. Stealth field at maximum, aistory reported. The gas swallowed the ship whole. Visibility dropped. Sensors struggled. But the Blackstar's special systems held strong. Rhea looked around the dim bridge. It feels like we're inside a storm. Hale nodded. We are. Outside, bright blue lightning danced across the nebula. Clouds churned and twisted. The ship glided through the chaos, silently. Then aistory spoke. Enemy fleet entering the nebula. They are searching for us. Hale stood still, watching the screen. Let them search. Inside the nebula, the alien ships moved slowly, confused. Their lights flickered as magnetic storms interfered with systems. Commander, an alien officer said nervously, we cannot see properly. Our scanners are useless. The Zarkan commander growled. That human ship must be hiding here somewhere. Continue forward. But the nebula did not welcome them. Lightning arcs struck one alien cruiser, blowing out power. Another ship drifted off course, its engines malfunctioning. Inside their bridge, the crew panicked. This place is dangerous. Our ship is breaking down. We should not be here. The commander roared in anger. Silence! Find the humans. Then, a faint blue glow appeared behind them. One alien officer pointed with shaking hands. Commander, behind us. The commander turned. A dark shape drifted through the swirling clouds. Silent, hidden, waiting. It's the human ship, the officer whispered. The Blackstar fired. A concentrated plasma spear shot through the nebula. It moved like lightning, fast and bright. It struck the alien cruiser directly in the center. The ship exploded in a burst of light that illuminated the entire nebula. The alien commander screamed, Retreat! Back away! Get out of the cloud! But the nebula trapped them, and the Blackstar was still hunting. Inside the Blackstar, Rhea watched the destruction. That's 2 more ships down. Hale spoke softly. Continue circling. Keep them blind. The Blackstar moved like a ghost, appearing for only seconds before vanishing into clouds again. Astra's voice guided the attacks. Enemy vessel ahead. Weapons ready. Hale raised his hand. Fire. Another alien ship exploded. Then another, and another. Inside the nebula, the Empire's fleet collapsed into chaos. Ships crashed into each other in fear. Engines malfunctioned. Commanders panicked. Rhea whispered, "They're afraid, truly afraid." Hale's expression remained cold. "They brought war to our home. Fear is their lesson." But the Empire was not finished yet. Far beyond the nebula, the reinforcements arrived, larger, heavier, with glowing red armor. Astra alerted them. "Commander, new signal. A battleship-class enemy is approaching. Estimated size, 3 kilometers." Rhea's eyes widened. "That's huge." Hale narrowed his eyes. "The Emperor sent a flagship." Astra continued. "It is heading straight for the nebula." Rhea shook her head. "They're going to try to flush us out." Hale stepped forward. "No, they're going to try to trap us." He took his seat again. "Prepare for exit." Rhea stared. "You won't leave the nebula?" "Now." "Exactly now," Hale replied. "Before the trap closes." Astra confirmed. "Stealth field strong. Engines ready." Hale raised his voice. "Blackstar, breakthrough." The engines roared. The ship shot upward to the swirling blue clouds, leaving lightning and chaos behind. The nebula opened for only a moment, just enough. The Blackstar burst into open space. Bright stars filled the screens. Space was calm again. But directly ahead, the massive Zarkan flagship appeared, 3 kilometers wide, covered in thick armor, weapons glowing like red suns. Rhea whispered, "That thing is a monster." Hale stared at it. "No," he said. His voice was calm. "Steel. Cold. That's the Empire's pride." He leaned forward. "And now we break it." The Empire had struck back, but the Blackstar was ready, and the real battle was about to begin. The USS Blackstar faced a massive Zarkan flagship in open space. The enemy's ship looked like a floating mountain, red, armored, covered with spikes and heavy cannons. It was 3 kilometers long, bigger than any human ship ever built. Rhea whispered, "Commander, that thing is 10 times our size." Hale stared at it calmly. Size is not strength. Discipline is strength. But even he felt a pressure in his chest. This enemy was not like the others. This was the Empire's pride, its strongest warship. Astra's voice spoke softly. Enemy flagship charging its main cannon. Rhea turned. "How strong is it?" Astra responded, "If it hits us directly, the Blackstar will not survive." Silence fell across the command deck. Hale broke it. "Prepare evasive pattern. Keep us mobile. Never stay still." The ship moved instantly, engines shifting power. The Blackstar became a dark blur across the stars. Then, boom, a red beam exploded from the enemy flagship, tearing through space. The Blackstar dodged just in time. The beam missed by only a few meters. Rhea exhaled. "That would have killed us." Hale nodded. "It will kill us if we get sloppy." Back on Earth, panic spread across the solar system. News channels screamed. Alien fleets sighted near Mars. Colonies entering emergency mode. Communication failing. Fleet forces struggling. Families hid inside shelters. People prayed, cried, shouted, and waited. The entire human race watched the battle with shaking hearts. Children asked, "Mom, will the aliens come here?" Parents had no answer. Humanity had only one shield, the Blackstar. On the Blackstar, alarms blared again. Astra announced, "Enemy heavy fleet approaching. 50 ships behind the flagship." Rhea looked worried. "We're surrounded." Hale paced slowly. "Not yet, but soon." He turned to aistory. "Status of our weapons?" "Plasma cores charged. Rail arrays ready. Void pulse at 50%. Hale frowned. "Void pulse is not enough." Rhea stepped closer to him. "Commander, are we going to survive this?" Hale looked at her with steady eyes. "Only if we fight smarter than them." The enemy flagship fired again. This time the beam was wider, faster, deadlier. The Blackstar twisted hard, its engine screaming. The beam passed beneath the ship, cutting through empty space. But the shock wave was too strong. Boom! The Blackstar shook violently. Panels sparked. Crew fell to the floor. We took a glancing hit. Port shields dropping. Engine room reporting damage. Rhea held onto her chair. Hale, we can't take another one like that. Hale braced himself. I know. He stared at the enemy ship. And neither can humanity. At that moment, a message came through, static-filled, weak but emotional. It was from Earth Command. Blackstar, this is Earth. We are under attack. Help us. Rhea's heart twisted. They're hitting Earth? Before Hale could reply, another message came. This one from the Moon Defense Base. Moon Base Alpha, requesting support. Civilians trapped, shields failing. And then a final message from Mars Colony. Blackstar, please, we are losing. Rhea pressed her lips together. Commander, the whole system needs us. We can't fight here forever. Hale closed his eyes for a second. He knew the truth. If he kept fighting the flagship here, Earth and the colonies would fall. If he left now, the flagship could chase them. There was only one option. Rhea saw the look in his eyes. No. Hale, you're not thinking. Hale nodded. We strike directly. We end their command. Rhea looked shocked. You want to attack the flagship? Alone. Hale answered calmly. If we don't cut off the head, the Empire will crush everyone we love. He sat down. His voice became steel. Prepare the Blackstar for a direct run. The crew hesitated. Commander, that's suicide. We can't get close. They'll destroy us before we reach them. But Hale stood firm. Humanity will die if we run. Humanity will live if we fight. Silence filled the deck. Then Rhea spoke, soft but brave. Then we fight. The crew nodded, one after another. They trusted Hale. They trusted the Blackstar. They trusted humanity's will. The engines flared. The Blackstar lowered its shields to boost speed. Astra warned, this maneuver is extremely dangerous. Hale replied, I know. The ship accelerated. Faster, 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 approaching the enemy flagship head-on. Alarms on the alien ship blared. Human vessel approaching. It's charging at us. Fire, fire. Red beams shot out one after another. Each beam missed by only seconds as the Blackstar zigzagged like a streak of darkness. One blast grazed the hull. Sparks shot across the command deck. Another beam hit the side. Shield shattered. Rhea clenched her fists. Hale, we're almost out of protection. I know, he said, but we're close. They were. They were so close the alien flagship filled the entire view. Astra spoke. Critical distance reached. Weapon array ready. Hale raised his hand. Fire the void pulse. The void pulse was the Blackstar's most dangerous weapon. Not a beam, not a missile, but a concentrated burst of gravitational energy. When fired, it tore space like paper. The Blackstar charged the weapon. Fulham, KDHOM, a massive wave of blue gravity smashed into the alien flagship at point-blank range. The impact was huge. A shock wave ripped across space. Armor shattered. Weapons melted. The flagship cracked, slowly, painfully, like a dying beast. On the alien bridge, officers screamed, Retreat! The ship is breaking. We are falling apart. The commander roared, This cannot be. But it was. The flagship, pride of the Empire, was dying. Inside the Blackstar, smoke filled the command deck. Alarm screamed. Crew shouted. Rhea checked the systems. We're alive. Hull fractured, but holding. Hale finally relaxed his shoulders. They had won this part, but victory had a cost. Astra spoke gently. Commander, long-range sensors show multiple human colonies damaged. Earth shields weakening. Moon base critical. Rhea covered her mouth. They attacked while we fought. Hale closed his eyes. This was the price of survival. He opened his eyes again, full of fury, full of resolve. Set course, he said quietly. Take us home. The Blackstar turned. Its engines glowed. The ship raced through space. Back to defend humanity. Back to finish the war. The USS Blackstar pushed through space, leaving the ruins of the destroyed Zarkan flagship behind. But inside the ship, no one celebrated. There was no victory music, no shouting, no joy, because everyone knew the truth. The real fight had just begun. Earth, Mars, the moon, they were all in danger. The Blackstar was humanity's last defense, and the Empire still had more fleets coming. Commander Hale stood at the center of the command deck. His face looked calm, but his eyes carried fire. Rhea approached him quietly. "Commander, we did everything we could." Hale didn't look away from the stars. "Everything is not enough when humanity is bleeding." Astra interrupted with a soft tone. "Commander, we are receiving another distress signal. Origin, Moonbase Alpha." Rhea's eyes widened. "Again? They're still under attack." Astra continued. "Moonbase reports heavy losses, shields at 10%, requesting immediate assistance." Hale turned sharply. "Reroute power. Increase speed. We go there first." The Blackstar engines roared alive, glowing bright blue. The ship accelerated so fast that space around it seemed to blur. Rhea stared at the stars streaking past. "We will make it in time, right?" Hale didn't answer. He didn't want to lie. Moonbase Alpha was dying. Its once powerful shield flickered like a dying candle. Burning metal floated in orbit. Explosions lit the dark sky. Zarkin attack cruisers swarmed the moon like hungry beasts, firing plasma blasts that rattled the surface. Inside the base, civilians huddled together, parents shielding their children, soldiers trying to hold broken lines, officers sending desperate messages into space. One soldier whispered into a communicator, "Blackstar, please, if you can hear us, hurry." It was the last message before the communication screen went black. Back on the Blackstar, aistory spoke urgently. "Moon-base shield failure in 47 seconds. Rhea gasped. "Hale, we're too far." Hale's voice was steady. "We're not." He walked to the helm. "Prepare short-range warp bursts." The crew froze. "But sir, warp bursts inside a gravity well are dangerous." "We could tear the ship apart. We could end up inside the moon." Hale turned slowly. "If we don't take the risk, the moon dies." Silence. Then Rhea nodded. "Do it." The crew followed. The Blackstar charged its warp core. Lights dimmed. Engines howled. Space rippled around the ship. Astra counted. 3, 2, 1. Floom. The Blackstar vanished. Then reappeared directly above the moon base, emerging from warp like a falling star. The sudden arrival shook nearby enemy ships. Several cruisers spun out of formation, alarms screaming inside them. Human soldiers inside the moon base looked up through damaged windows. Someone shouted, "It's the Blackstar." They came. "We're saved." Hope returned to broken hearts. But there was no time for celebration. The Zarkin fleet fired instantly, dozens of red plasma beams cutting through the sky toward the Blackstar. Enemy barrage incoming. Multiple hits predicted. Shields at 60%. Rhea shouted, "Return fire. Target their heavy cruisers." The Blackstar unleashed a storm of blue plasma and railgun shells. Boom, boom, boom. Enemy ships exploded one after another, torn apart by human firepower. The sky above the moon turned into a battlefield of burning metal and drifting debris. Still, more enemy ships arrived from the dark side of the moon. Rhea's eyes widened. "They're surrounding us." Hale sat down slowly. "Good." Rhea blinked. "Good." Hale nodded once. "Then we won't have to hunt them. They will come to us." He activated ship-wide comms. "All hands, prepare for orbital close combat." The crew stiffened. A few swallowed hard. But no one disobeyed. They were the Blackstar, the ship that stood when all others fell. The Zarkin fleet charged. The Blackstar fired. Space lit with explosions. Missiles streaked through the dark. Plasma beams danced across the moon's surface, leaving glowing scars. Inside the Blackstar, crew held on to their stations as the ship shook violently. Starboard shields collapsing. Enemy fighters boarding attempt detected. Hull breach on Deck 14. Rhea's voice rose, strong and sharp. "Seal the breach. Block the ports. Keep firing." Astra added, "Enemy heavy cruiser preparing a high-energy blast." Hale looked toward it. Destroy them before they shoot. We don't have an angle. Rhea cried. Hale exhaled once. Then he said 4 words that made everyone freeze. Rotate the entire ship. Rhea's eyes widened. You want to spin the Blackstar? In low orbit. Commander, that can crater the moon. Hale kept his voice steady. It won't. I trust the pilot. Do it. The Blackstar rotated. Slow at first, then faster, then dangerously fast. The ship spun like a giant blade, aligning its cannons with the critical target. Enemy officers screamed. Human ship rotating. Brace for attack. Impossible. Hale made a chopping motion. Fire. Catham. The Blackstar's cannons fired simultaneously. A massive energy wave slammed into the enemy heavy cruiser. It exploded instantly. Pieces scattered across the sky like dying stars. Rhea stared at the burning wreckage. Commander, that was insane. Hale answered quietly. Winning always looks insane. Finally, after 20 minutes of brutal fighting, the remaining enemy ships broke formation. They're retreating. They're running. We did it. Cheers erupted across the deck. The moon base sent a transmission. Blackstar. Thank you, you saved us. Children cried tears of relief. Soldiers hugged each other. Families looked up at the sky, whispering, They came for us, they came. But the victory was not perfect. Astra spoke calmly. Commander, new enemy signal detected. Origin, deep space. It is massive. Rhea swallowed. Hale, what now? Hale stared at the stars again. The Empire is sending something bigger. Something worse. He stepped forward. Prepare for the next battle. Because he knew the fall of the Emperor's pride was only the beginning. The Empire's wrath was coming. The moon was safe for now, but the battlefield still smelled of smoke and burning metal. The Blackstar floated above the gray's surface, wounded but unbroken, its armor cracked, its shields drained, its engines tired. Inside the command deck, the crew tried to catch their breath. Some wiped sweat from their faces. Some checked damage systems. Others simply closed their eyes for a second, trying to calm their shaking hands. Rhea looked around. This ship, it's still standing. I don't know how. Hale answered without looking away from the star map. Because it must stand. Astra's voice came through again, soft, but with a hint of concern. Commander, the new signal is growing stronger. Estimated size unprecedented. Rhea frowned. How big? Astra paused. Size unknown, but larger than the flagship we destroyed. Silence fell. Rhea whispered. Larger? That monster was already huge. Hale finally turned to her. This won't be an ordinary ship. It's the Empire's response. He tapped the star map. A red light pulsed far beyond Mars, deep in the cold of space. It is still half a day away, Yestiari added. Rhea exhaled slowly. So we have time. Hale shook his head. No, time is exactly what we don't have. Down on the moon base, survivors celebrated the Blackstar's victory. Families hugged. Children pointed at the sky. That's the Blackstar. They saved us. Humanity still fights. But the celebration lasted only a few minutes, because every screen suddenly flashed red. Warning, new enemy signal detected. Prepare for evacuation. People froze. A soldier whispered. No again? Already, the war wasn't giving humanity a break. Not even for 1 hour. The Blackstar was being repaired as fast as possible. Engineers ran through smoking corridors. Robotic arms welded broken armor plates. Medics treated injured crew, but it wasn't enough. Commander, shield generators at 40%. Main cannon charging very slowly. Void pulse offline. It needs full recalibration. Rhea looked at Hale, fear mixing with frustration. Hale, we can't fight a bigger ship in this state. Hale said nothing. He simply watched the repair teams, his jaw tight, his eyes distant. Rhea stepped closer. Talk to me. What are you thinking? Hale answered quietly. The Blackstar is strong, but humanity is weak right now. We must make them strong again. She blinked. What do you mean? Hale turned toward her. We can't fight this next enemy alone. We must unite every remaining human ship, every base, every colony. Rhea nodded slowly. A fleet? Hale replied, yes, a human fleet. Astor displayed a map of Earth, Mars, and the outer colonies, connecting to all military channels. Static filled the speakers. For several seconds, nothing. Then finally, Earth Command. Blackstar, we hear you. What is your status? Mars Defense Council. We're holding, but barely. Jupiter Outpost. We lost half our ships. Saturn Forge Station. Factories damaged, production slow. Voices filled with pain. Fear. Loss. Hale listened to all of it. Then he spoke with a voice so steady that every channel went silent. This war is not over. And if we stand alone, humanity dies. He stepped forward. But together we become something the Empire never expected. He pointed at the star map. We form a fleet, a united force. Every ship, every pilot, every weapon, combined in one line. He raised his voice slightly. We meet the Emperor's wrath not with fear, but with fire. Every channel remained silent. Then, one by one, voices answered. Earth Command, we will send everything we have. Mars Defense. Mars, stand with the Blackstar. Jupiter Outpost. We're ready. Saturn Forge. We'll supply you with weapons. Then a final voice came, old and calm. Humanity has not fallen. Not yet. Hale closed his eyes for a brief second. Humanity was answering the call. Rhea looked at him with a small smile. You did it. You united them. Hale shook his head. No, the Empire united us. Their cruelty taught humanity to stand together. Astra interrupted. Commander, enemy ship now visible on long-range scans. The screen changed. Every crew member froze. The enemy ship was enormous, far larger than anything humanity had ever seen. It looked like a floating fortress made of black metal and glowing red veins. Its wings stretched miles long. Its engines glowed like suns. Rhea stepped back. That's not a ship. Astra answered. Correct. That is the Eclipse Titan, the Emperor's personal dreadnought. The crew whispered. Impossible. How do we fight that? It's too big. Hale stared at the monstrous silhouette. Inside his chest, he felt the same fear everyone else did, but he didn't let it control him. He raised his head and spoke calmly. We don't fight alone. Humanity fights it with us. He turned to aistory. Send coordinates to every allied ship. Prepare for fleet formation. The Blackstar's engines lit up. Rhea whispered, Commander, are we really going to fight that thing? Hale answered, not fight it. Stop it. For humanity. The Blackstar began to move. Toward the forming human fleet. Toward the greatest enemy ever seen. Toward the battle that would decide everything. The Empire's wrath had arrived, and humanity would answer. The human fleet gathered slowly but steadily. Ships of all sizes. Earth cruisers, Mars frigates, mining vessels retrofitted for war, even civilian ships armed with lasers, formed a jagged line across the black of space. Each one carried hope, courage, and the survival of the human race. At the front, the USS Blackstar floated like a shadowed colossus. Its black armor reflected starlight, its engines glowing faintly, ready for the fight. Commander Hale stood at the helm, his eyes calm, his jaw firm. He did not need to speak. The fleet followed his lead, trusting him, trusting the ship, trusting humanity itself. Rhea's hand rested lightly on Hale's shoulder. Do you really think we can do this? She asked, voice low. Hale looked at the forming fleet. Every human ship blinking, ready to fight. Every crew member bracing for war. Every mind focused on survival. He smiled faintly. We don't just think, Rhea. We will. Far ahead, the Emperor's dreadnought, the Eclipse Titan, emerged from the darkness. It was vast, enormous beyond imagination, its black hull glowing with red veins of energy. Massive turrets pointed in every direction. Weapons capable of destroying whole planets. The Emperor's voice echoed across subspace comms, cold and cruel. Humans, he said, you thought you could rise? You thought your little ship could challenge me? You are insects beneath my shadow. I will crush you. Hale's hands clenched the railing. Commander, aistory said calmly. They are fully armed. Engagement is imminent. Hale's eyes narrowed. Then we give them a lesson they'll never forget. The first shots were fired. Red beams tore across space. Explosions rippled through human ships. Metal screamed. Fire erupted. Even with fleet formation, the humans lost ships immediately. Rhea shouted, shields down, hull breach, enemy turrets targeting the flagship. But the Blackstar moved faster. Its stealth systems, its advanced engines, and its deadly weapons made it appear and vanish like a ghost. Every time a Zarkan ship aimed, the Blackstar was gone. Then it struck. Blue beams of concentrated plasma sliced through enemy cruisers. Railguns tore apart turrets and hulls. The gravitational void pulse smashed through entire enemy formations, sending ships spinning into the void. Every strike left one message. Humanity fights back. Inside the eclipsed Titan, the Emperor's fury grew. What is this? He roared. How? How can humans move like this? How can one ship destroy entire fleets? One of his officers answered trembling. They are not normal humans, my Emperor. That ship, it is a nightmare. The Emperor's fists clenched. A nightmare you will wake from. Fire everything. The human fleet responded with a chorus of courage. Even battered ships that should have been destroyed pressed forward. Missiles fired. Cannons blasted. Every hit counted. Every human crew fought beyond their limits. Hale watched from the Blackstar, cold, calculated. He knew his crew's limits. He knew the risks. He also knew that fear was the enemy's greatest weakness. Target the command core, he ordered. The Emperor must see humanity's strength before he falls. Rhea nodded, coordinates locked. The Blackstar raced toward the massive ship. Red beams tore space around it. Shields flared. Hale ignored the shots. The human fleet followed, taking hits but never stopping. Even civilians aboard converted ships fired back, using ingenuity and courage to fight beyond expectations. One by one, smaller Zarkan ships fell. The Emperor's pride began to crumble. Finally, the Blackstar reached firing range. Hale leaned forward, all weapons ready. Fire at will. The Blackstar unleashed everything. Plasma beams, railguns, the void pulse. Energy waves exploded against the eclipsed Titan's armor. Massive turrets melted. Weapons failed. Hull cracks spread like lightning. The Emperor screamed in disbelief. Impossible. This cannot happen. The human fleet pressed forward. Every strike compounded the damage. The Blackstar targeted the heart of the Titan, its command core. Floom. A massive explosion erupted. The eclipsed Titan trembled. The Emperor's flagship cracked and broke apart. Red veins of energy went dark. Silence filled the void. For the first time, the Emperor's forces saw something impossible. Humans could not be crushed. The Emperor attempted to escape, fleeing on smaller vessels. Hale did not give chase. He spoke into the galaxy. You mocked humanity. You tried to enslave us. But humans will never bow. You have been defeated. Across the galaxy, news reached every human colony. The Emperor had fallen. The Blackstar and the human fleet survived. Hope returned. Humanity, battered but unbroken, rose stronger than ever. Rhea smiled at Hale. Did we really do it? Hale looked at the stars, exhausted but proud. We did more than survive. We showed the galaxy what humanity is. The Blackstar, battered but alive, sailed silently through space. A symbol of hope, a reminder, a legend. The Emperor's forces scattered, leaving behind whispers of fear. Every corner of the galaxy would remember, humans do not bow. Humans do not surrender. Humans fight back. Hale spoke softly, almost himself. If they want war, we will always show them fear. And humanity's story had changed forever. The Blackstar became more than a ship. It became a legend. The ship that made the Empire beg. The galaxy would never forget.